Follow the path as it curves now to the left, now the right. Deeper and deeper into the ever-darkening green of a forest in Germany. And there on the side is a sweet little home, not fancy, but it was made with love. And it is there that the woodcutter and his wife and their 2 children, Peter and Maria, live. Every day their father goes out into the forest to cut enough wood for their fire and to sell or trade some at the market. They lead a simple life, but they are very happy. They have enough food for their daily needs and more than enough love and laughter. And for special occasions, there is even cake and presents. As Christmas approached, the days grew shorter, and the cold wrapped around their cottage. Snow tumbled upon the house and the woods, but their cheery fire made it glow. The children were very excited as they saw Christmas delicacies filling the cupboard. Cherries and nuts, butter, sugar. Oh, they could almost taste the delicious Christmas pudding their mother would make for the morning. But one day the woodcutter came home early. "I do not know, wife, but the cold seems to penetrate my very bones. I think I will just sleep for a while and will be better." But he was not better. And the next morning, he lay there, huddled under the rough woolen blanket, and the next, and soon the stacks of their firewood dwindled, until one day the mother called to her children, "Peter and Maria, we have no wood left. Without it, there is nothing to trade for our food. Our cupboards are almost bare. I am sorry, my dears, but our Christmas will be a thin one. I need to go to the woods to collect some pine cones, to make a small fire to keep your father warm. Take good care of him and of each other. I will be back soon." And donning her cloak, tying a kerchief round her head, and putting on her mittens, she picked up her basket and stepped out onto the snowy path. Follow the curve, to the right, to the left, but everywhere she looked the paths were clear, the pine cones buried under a blanket of white that went up to her knees. She went deeper and deeper into the forest until she saw a path that was covered with cones. She bent and quickly began to scoop them into her basket. "By my boots and by my beard, who is stealing my pine cones?" She turned and gasped as she saw a tiny man with big black boots going up to his knees and a big black beard stretching down to the ground. "Oh, I am very sorry, but I did not know they were your pine cones." "Well, they are." As the woodcutter's wife began to empty her basket, the little man stopped her. "Why are you stealing my pine cones?" "Well, as I said, I did not know they were your pine cones. But my husband is very sick, and our house has grown cold, so I wanted to warm him just a little bit in this Christmas season." "Well, you might as well take them, for you've touched them anyway. And you'll also be wanting that." The woodcutter's wife turned and looked. He was pointing to a tiny green plant that rested upon the snow. She hadn't noticed it a moment before. "What?" "Well, woman, you take it and boil it into a tea, and then your husband must drink it, and he will be much, much improved." Oh, thank you." And so the wife went and picked up the plant, and when she turned to say thank you again, the little man was gone. She walked home as quickly as she could, and when she got there, she put all the pine cones in the fire. Oh, soon the house was roaring with warmth. In seconds, the snow had dripped off her cloak. Here is a plant, and I will make it into a tea and make you better. Maybe. She boiled it up, and when she looked at it, oh, but you can't drink that. What is the matter, wife? And she showed her husband the tea. It was vivid green and kind of slimy. Tell me, who gave you this plant? And so she told her husband about the little man in the forest. Oh, I think you have met the Dwarf King. Some say he is very grumpy, but that he is also very generous to those who need help. Give me the tea. And so with great trepidation his wife handed him the tea. He drank it all. And no sooner had the last drip left his lips than his color brightened. I believe I can sit up. And he did for the first time in weeks. I think I can even take a little broth. His wife made him some broth, and there was happiness in the house. Oh. After a time, she got up, and she went to the cupboard and took out the cherries and nuts and butter and sugar, and she began to mix and stir. She popped the Christmas pudding into the oven, and soon the cottage smelled, oh, so delicious. And when the pudding had cooled, she picked it up and put it in her basket. Donning her cloak and her kerchief, and putting on her mittens, she started toward the door. Oh, Mother, said her children, where are you going with our Christmas pudding? Children, their mother smiled at them with such love. We have all we need, and it is important to say thank you. They agreed, but it was still a little bit difficult to see that pudding walk out the door. Follow the path to the right, to the left, deeper and deeper through the snow. And when the woodcutter got to the very path where she had met the Dwarf King, she looked around. He was nowhere to be seen, so she placed it by a tree. By my boots and by my beard, what is that? Oh, hello. That is to say thank you. For we are so happy that you have brought health back to my husband. Well, I suppose you need some more pine cones, seeing as how it is still cold. Well, yes, that would be wonderful, thank you. She bent to pick up the pine cones, but not here. Go down that path over there. And he pointed deeper into the forest. Thank you. But there was no Dwarf King to be seen. She followed where he had said, and sure enough, there were pine cones aplenty. She filled her basket and began to walk home. She was so happy and her heart was so light that she felt like she was skipping above the snow, until as she neared the house, her weight in her basket became very heavy, and her legs felt very tired, until she stumbled upon the stairs and fell into the house, spilling her pine cones upon the floor. Why, what? Oh, I just fell. No, look. She looked, and there, all her pine cones glittered, for they had turned into gold, solid gold. Oh, there was great rejoicing in the woods that night, and the Christmas was the most special one they could ever imagine. The woodcutter resumed perfect health and soon went back to work. And though they, over the years, spent the pine cones, they kept two, one for Peter and one for Maria. And every year at Christmas, they bring out those golden pine cones, and they tell the story of the Dwarf King, so that they may remember the important lesson of being generous to those who are in need.